Yeah.
Sure.
So the first question is, what do you see as the overlap between nursing, overdose prevention, and parenting?
Well, I guess I that's interesting because I work from a harm reduction approach. And I guess that in a way, so for those that don't know what harm reduction is, one of the most common examples is to be giving clean supplies to people who use, like, say, who inject drugs. So you make sure that they have access to clean needles, clean supplies, a clean area, support, and this kind of stuff, so they can use drugs in the least harmful way. So when I look at that in terms of, so I guess that's a way to explain it in terms of overdose prevention. But I do look at it as a way of how I guess I guide my parenting and how I guide my teaching, because you can't stop people from being who they are for whatever reason. Because I mean, my kids are a little bit different because I know where they're coming from. I know the environment that they're in, but you also can't control everything that your kids see, that your kids do, that your kids experience. So how do you let them do things and experience things and become independent while also not having them, like, possibly hurt or kill themselves, so to speak, especially when they're young? So I guess that's a common sort of theme, and how my husband and I both parent the kids. We don't helicopter parent them. We don't. They are relatively independent, especially for their age. Like, my 7-year-old can take his sister to school on his own. You know what I mean? It's not far. It's just up the street. Or, he'll take the dog for a walk by himself. Or if I'm somewhere and I say, like, hey, I need you to go to the car, get that for me, bring it back. Okay, no problem. My daughter this morning was like, oh, we went to a birthday party this morning. Oh, I wrapped the gifts. She's 4.
What gifts?
Yeah, like, so she wrapped the gift herself. She brought me back breakfast in bed the other day. I mean, some people are very, like, I saw this woman at the party today, because it was at, like, a trampoline park. And the area is not, there's no barrier to the door for children. And she was like, that really concerns me, because I said, oh yeah, I guess my kids could make a run for it. She's like, no, anybody could come in and walk out with your kid. I said, yeah. I said, I guess I never really thought about that. I said, I don't teach my kids stranger danger. I said, because I don't believe in it. I said, I teach my kids that if something doesn't seem right, move on. But no matter what, you treat someone with respect. And I said, maybe that's because I work with people who are homeless or underhoused or very vulnerable, that you don't judge someone and you don't treat them with disrespect in that way, because that's just not how our society should be. And that's, I guess, moving into the teaching aspect, that's also what I teach my students, is you don't know what someone is going through. You don't know their circumstances. You think that it's all involved, bad decisions, or whatever, it's all choice involved. I said, but we ourselves make bad decisions all the time, and they're not maybe as overt as other people can see. So we're not judged as heavily on it. But you don't know what someone's life was or is or whatever. So who are you to judge how they are? You just be with them in that moment, and you work with them on what they want to accomplish, and try and meet them in the middle with what you want to try to accomplish. Like, it's a mutual kind of, like, relationship. It's not one side or the other. And I think parenting's a little bit like that too. Easier said than done, as you well know. And that's the same with the overdose site. It's a mutual relationship. People will come in, and some people just want to come in to use, and that's fine. And some people come in and don't use, and they want to be there for the company. They want to just get a snack. They want to just be somewhere warm. They want to just walk by. They just want to grab supplies. Some are interested in seeking out further services, like, oh, I'm looking for a healthcare practitioner, or I'm looking for housing, or I'm looking into getting a methadone or a Suboxone doctor, or I'm looking into accessing a resource in the community that can provide me with, other resources, like, maybe there's an Indigenous organization, or maybe they have epilepsy and they want to look at possibly starting treatment, or maybe there's, you know, who knows? There's a lot of different networks that are both that can help you with your physical, mental, social, and spiritual kind of being. And that's our job to kind of be like, okay, I'm here to provide you what you're looking for. So that's, I
Well,
guess, kind of, that's kind of the overlap I would say would be harm reduction for me personally.